As pharmacists, we often overlook just how valuable our expertise truly is. It doesn't surprise me because, the public just expects us to give advice and information for free. It doesn't cost anything to charge a pharmacist to ask a question. But many of us don't realize that companies are willing to pay top dollar for that kind of knowledge that we take for granted. You shouldn't be surprised, because in this video, I'm going to show you how any pharmacist, yes, even with zero experience, can dive into a side hustle that can boost your annual income by 10, 20, 30, even 50%. The best part? It all depends on how committed you are to unlocking some awesome earning potential of what you already know. But let's be real for a moment, okay? Who doesn't want a little bit of extra moolah? For me, it's about lifestyle, it's about freedom, it's about going to Portugal and not caring about how much money when we go there. Or maybe it's about living debt-free, okay? You want to go that Tim Ulbrich lifestyle and, rice and beans kind of thing. Whatever your financial goals are, here's the thing. Starting this journey could lead you down an entirely new career path. In fact, some of these side hustles I'll be sharing with you could even become full-time gigs if you really wanted them to. So let's kick off with side hustle number 1, consulting and coaching. This is where you get to really leverage your expertise to help others. The great thing about consulting or coaching is the variety. Let me just give you a few real-world examples. My friend Delon Canterbury specializes in de-prescribing for the elderly. He uses his knowledge to work with individuals or companies to basically get patients off of so many meds. Then there's my newer friend, Jenna Quinn. She runs a company called Perfecting Peds. She focuses on pediatric pharmacy that helps manage medications for kids and makes pharmacy-related problems less overwhelming for those families. Or there's Sylvia Perry, who was like one of my first business pharmacist clients from a long time ago. She's still the same age. I'm just older. Don't worry about it. But she was consulting Planned Parenthood facilities and made a nice chunk of change, ensuring that these facilities were up to code. These are pharmacists just like you who've turned their knowledge into a thriving side business or full-time business. I'm working with Melissa Bass right now. She focuses on helping women over 50 regain their youthful vitality. So she consults with them one-on-one or in groups. She performs tests, she provides recommendations. And over the span of just a few months, I've been able to help her double her monthly recurring revenue. Look, the way to get started in this is to pick a problem you enjoy solving, maybe for yourself or for others. That's exactly how I started the Happy PharmD. I was very unsatisfied with my career. I started doing coaching and I learned that, hey, maybe I could help 20 other pharmacists with their careers. So they paid a super cheap price for my coaching services. And in turn, they got promotions, they started up businesses, and they transitioned into new jobs. Fast forward to today, and it's now my full-time endeavor. When it comes to coaching or consulting, you've really got two main approaches. There's B2B or B2C. B2B is business to business. This is where you're working with an organization and can be a little bit harder to break into, but the payoffs can be bigger. Or you can go B2C, business to consumer. This is where you're working directly, likely with individuals, and it's often so much easier to get started here. And you may be helping people manage their medications or advising on health and wellness, or maybe totally something different. Who knows? My advice is to start small. Find one person, one small organization that you could help. Get them some results. Maybe even do it for free, but with the sole purpose of getting a testimonial from them. And then growing from there. It's all about solving problems and adding value to an organization. Our second easy to start side hustle is medical writing and continued medical education, or CME. Now, don't freak out if you're not Shakespeare or if you hate public performance. This isn't about writing the next great American story like Twilight, because Twilight was awesome. Jump on, Spider Monkey. It's all about leveraging that pharmacy knowledge that you already have in a different way. Medical writing covers a broad range. You could be writing for pharmaceutical journals. You could be creating content for healthcare websites. You could be developing drug monographs. And here's a little secret. It's not as hard to break into as you may think. Many associations and online journals are always looking for content. So start there. You'd be surprised how quickly you could start building a portfolio now for free and even get paid. Just reach out to a healthcare association. Doesn't have to be pharmacy. It can be nursing, PAs, NPs, whatever, and say, hey, there's this new drug coming out. I'd love to write about it for your journal. But you don't have to write. You can be like me and maybe find it a little bit more fun to educate and have an audience. So creating CME material is a great option. Think about every CE course that you've ever had to sit through. Someone had to create it, and that someone could be you. I regularly speak on platforms like freece.com, and let me tell you, it's a great way to share your knowledge, and if you enjoy it, it's a lot of fun, and you can get paid for it. You don't need to be the world's foremost expert on a topic. You just need to be willing to dive deep into a subject and present it clearly. So here's a pro tip. Start local. Volunteer to speak at a local conference or association meeting. It's a great way to get your feet wet and start building a reputation. And if you're worried about creating content, as one of my clients once said, what if I write something wrong? Well, here's another tip. Rely on tools of experts and feedback from others. A tool as simple as ChatGPT can help you organize your thoughts and even find references. Just remember to do it ethically and always double check the information. Now let me tell you about Gina Corley. She's a pharmacist who used to be a retail pharmacist, went into the hospital, and we helped her then get into medical writing full-time career remotely. She has a side hustle called Gina on a Plane. Check her out on Instagram. Gina's super cool. Now she works remotely and on projects she loves. If that's not living the dream, I don't know what is. If you'd like to hear Gina share a little bit more about what a day in the life looks like as a medical writer, we'll put a link or somewhere for you to check out that interview. Click the link. Click it. Do it. All right, last but not least is side hustle number 3, training and education. While there's definitely a lot of overlap here with the things that we're doing, coaching, medical writing, teaching, training, it's all kind of the same thing. It's using our expertise, but this can involve more structured learning experiences. So let's break down some of the ways that you could do this. A quick way that you could do this in the right kind of organization is becoming a preceptor. Some colleges pay their preceptors a stipend. It's not a huge amount of money, and if you're in a larger organization, that money may be taken by them. In the right place, this can be a nice way to make a little extra cash. Similar to that, you could actually become a part-time professor and teach pharmacology to nurse practitioners or nurses, or you could teach at a local community college, same subjects, or even a tech program. You could do corporate training. Many companies hire pharmacists to train and educate their staffs and patients. I once got paid to provide training on psychological safety. It's a buzzword, honestly, and it wasn't directly related to pharmacy, but I've had training on the subject, and so I was able to deliver it and get paid to do it. There's online courses. This is a big opportunity. Lorraine is someone I often reference when people are curious about this. She has a class on Udemy called How to Become a Certified Pharmacy Technician. It costs $13, and over 1,700 people have taken it. Do the math. That's a nice chunk of change. And recognize this too, she's a pharmacist. To my knowledge, she's not practicing right now as a technician. She's 10% ahead of those people on the journey, so she can teach on those subjects. There's some innovative approaches that you can do as well, like my buddy Corey Jenks, who uses comedy in healthcare communication. So he goes into companies and speaks at conferences, and he talks about improv, and he talks about how to improve the workplace through communication. It's totally out of left field, but he's killing it. So much so that he quit his full-time job, got a part-time clinical job, so he's working 2-3 days out of the week, remotely at times, and he now is able to travel the country doing what he loves. You could go a step further and not even work within pharmacy. I mean, it doesn't have to be pharmacy. Lots of pharmacists leave the profession, like Hans, who's known as the investing tutor. He teaches healthcare professionals about finance. Or look at my friend Brandon Dyson from TLDR Pharmacy. He creates clinical cheat sheets and studies materials that have a huge impact and following. The key to training and education is to find your unique angle and find something that is in demand now that you could be selling at mass to a larger audience. The way to get started here is just to simply ask, what do you know a little bit more than others that people want to learn about? It could be something unrelated to pharmacy. How to lose weight, how to train for a marathon, how to draw using Adobe. Whatever it is, you can teach it in an engaging and effective way. And ideally, make a little bit of money on the side. So there you have it, 3 solid side hustles that you can turn your pharmacy knowledge into some extra income. Whether you choose to write, consult, educate, coach, whatever it is, the power is in your hands. You got the power! The secret to a side hustle success is starting small and being consistent. There's one thing I've learned after being in this world for the last 10 years is that many pharmacists start businesses or side hustles and they never quite reach the breaking point. They try and they try and they try, but it's the lack of inconsistency that hurts them so many times. Even if you can just fit in 30 minutes a day, it can lead to a snowball effect to something huge and momentous. If all of this feels a little overwhelming, don't worry. I've been there and a lot of people we worked with have been there. You know, at the Happy PharmD, we're honestly dedicated to solving this very problem, to navigate career growth, side hustles, starting a business, or even heck, leaving it all behind. Whatever is next for you needs to be centered on what you're great at so that you can create truly work that is meaningful and satisfying. Click the link in the description to schedule some free career strategy sessions. One of our career advisors will talk with you so that you can help navigate what's the best move for you this year. If this video was helpful, please share it with your pharmacy friends, spread knowledge. And hey, if you want more content like this, hit subscribe and the notification bell. Join our community and let us know what side hustle you want us to dig into a little bit deeper. And until I see you in the next video, stay curious and take care.